This is kind of a rematch from last season. TCU won by 34 in one of the more funny like debuts. It's like, oh, Belichick, yeah, making his college debut. This will be awesome, and then they get boat raced off the field. So, what do we make of this game that's overseas?
Well, let's look at last year's game. TCU was a 3.5-point favorite. They played opening game of the college football season. TCU ends up finishing plus 5.4 points per game, plus 40 yards per game. North Carolina ends up finishing minus 5.2 points per game and minus 50 yards per game. Then we look. North Carolina, 5 returning offense on defense, 5 on defense. They're number 111 in experience. TCU comes in top 30 as far as experience goes. I think this line should be higher. The problem is this. I can't lay over the touchdown with them in Dublin. Dublin has tall grass, guys. These are soccer pitches. So this is not the fast track that these players are accustomed to, especially TCU. We have the new quarterbacks for North Carolina. They're going with a Virginia transfer. But again, North Carolina, you got to remember this. Yes, I'm excited that Bobby Petrino is there as the OC. He will help the OC. But you have a GM that is on leave. You have his son, who's the DC, who is on medical leave. You have his wife helping coach these players. I see this as a complete shit show for North Carolina. But as I said, I don't want to get to the TCU side, so I'm going to break down a couple trends. First of all, defenses are ahead of offenses, game number 1 in college football. Over the last 4 years, if you blindly bet every under, you have won 55% of the time. But when we have a game like this with 2 FBS teams, a line under 14 and a total under 58, those teams are 26 and 61, 29.9% to the over or 70% to the under. North Carolina is going to run the ball. TCU does want to establish the run and not get this young quarterback in trouble. North Carolina and TCU both have byes next week, so they have nothing they have to hide. But I think in this case, we're going to get off to a slow start. I lean both TCU and North Carolina under first half and under full game in the Aer Lingus Classic.
Well, Ralph, hopefully with that play, we can say afterwards that we've been doubling our money.
Oh, God.
Thank you. All right, sorry.
All right, wait, track. Hold on. I thought Brian Leonard was here last week. That's a Brian joke. Oh.
Yes, I wrote that out. No, I didn't write that out. All right, we got a game where the point spread is not exactly within a touchdown here. This is just a monster spread here on San Jose versus USC. I was kind of looking this game up, and USC hammers bad teams the last few years. Like I was reading against certain teams, their average win total is like 45 points. So we got USC as minus 39. I don't know if that's a key number or not. Over under is 60.5. What do you make of this game?
Well, let's look at what Mr. Lincoln Riley has done. 73-13 against Missouri State, 59-20 Georgia Southern. 2 years ago, after beating LSU, he beats Utah State 48-0. Against San Jose 3 years ago, 56-28, and then 66-14 versus Nevada, and then Rice 66-14. He is not afraid to get his quarterback hot. He is not afraid to get the most experienced quarterback in college football this season out to an early Heisman lead. It helps his team, it helps his offense, and it helps the entire continuity get them to where they're going to be. So, can I get to San Jose? Is there any reason I could bet San Jose? Well, remember, they're in the third year of Niumatalolo's schedule. And if you think, Navy and Niumataloto, you're going to think the option game. 2 years ago, San Jose State, even with him being the coach, switched to the passing game. They were a top 10 pass offense each of the last 2 years. So while some coaches are accustomed to doing the service academies and the options, it doesn't mean he can't change his offense, and that's exactly what he's done. So is it crazy laying over 5 touchdowns in game number 1 of a college football season? I think you might be surprised at these numbers, guys. First off, if a team is a massive favorite against an FCS foe, they are not as impressive. They've gone 69-54, still 56.1%. Why? You're playing an FCS team. You don't want to put anything on paper. FCS teams have 25 or 26 less scholarships. They're limited to 63. And those players just don't have the excitement level. But you're playing a San Jose State team with a very well-known coach since 2013. Teams that are a favorite of 37 or higher in an opening game against an FCS opponent. How about 19-4, 83% against the spread, and 17-5, 70% to the over? That applies to USC this week. And next week. Andy, I know you're going to be talking about a couple of these teams. Next week, over 37-point favorites, Indiana, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M. I'm not going to get to the window at USC. I'm not going to get to the over with USC, but the only ways I would play this game is with the Trojans and the over. And with a total of 38, that's a very fair total of 60 for a San Jose State team that will be passing the ball often and may be able to break it out for a touchdown or two. We'll see what happens.
Ralph, that's great stuff. What do you have up for everyone? I know we got some specials. We got college football. What do you have up for everybody?
One small nerfy play. And, again, I'm not really a baseball fan, but I found this great niche in no run first inning. I do a first inning report every day. It's free on my homepage. I have a small 2% nerfy for today, but I'm number 2 in MLB action the entire season, just using nerfy plays. So don't be afraid to step on a limb and say, hey, I don't need to bet sides. I don't need to bet totals. If you find someone that works, stick with it no matter what it is. The markets nowadays open up so many opportunities for all of us. Take advantage.